to just show the delightful opening of the pyramid. 1983. You know, the idea of having an opening picture was there. You had it on the horizon tape, so you were aware of it. But the pyramid, rather than saving the screen, did a nice little bit of animation. Somebody was playing around with basic, I get the feeling. So if we just get ready to open up the pyramid, and we get the delightful opening. Fantasy Software presents the pyramid, and then it disappears again. Thankfully, I screen capped it earlier. It looked like this, with the moire effect going on intros, and you can actually work out how to draw that in basic as well. I could leave that as an exercise for you, and it drops you into this screen. Now, if you never get back to this screen, so if you get your control option wrong, you gotta reload the game. We know it's going to be Kempston. One of the disappointing things is it doesn't have the idea of redefining keys. It's not quite there in the whole sort of Spectrum thing, but you've got Kempston, got AGF Protect, which is simply is 56780. Microgen, I never worked out what Microgen was. Somebody will tell me in the comments. Your standard keyboard control, and then it's curious what top row is up, second row down, and then left and right on the sort of middle row. That's just a weird one. It kind of allows you to sort of shift your hands either way, I suppose. You can define them yourself, but it's still scanning them through. Or you can go for a ZXCN. As with CNN, Fire, M, down, K. 7's a weird one. I don't think I would play that. M. PlayStation 4 controller. Or as I call it in the Spectrum times, Kempston. Right then, to the pyramid. You're about to enter Chamber 1, Level 1, Fire to play. Sounds good to me. Okay, level 1's a relatively easy one. It's the robotic dustbins. If you're thinking it's just like cheap Daleks, and you're probably about there. As if you haven't seen this before, you've got to shoot enough attacking enemies, letter A, to pick up a crystal, which you can drop into the door. And then when you've dropped in enough through the door, you get to leave the chamber and move on to the next one. So it is a single screen shooter with 150 screens of action, 60 different enemy animations, huge amounts of colour, the occasional bit of colour glash, and do remember, this is 1983. You know, most of the Spectrums haven't even been released yet. There's a small handful of machines that have went out in the market. There are supply issues getting out there, and Bob Hamilton and presumably the rest of his family have managed to find a 48K Spectrum and have built a pixel perfect, pixel smooth shooting game straight out of the bat. Skills. Just skills and wonderful. The fact that they kind of then decided that they would graft on a story that blatantly matches up to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Your central character here is Ziggy. He's on a quest to find the answer to life, the universe, and everything. He thinks it's 42, but the pyramid is going to tell him what the actual answer is, and all he needs to do is get to the final. I've got my little mouse in. He's got to get to this one here. The center chamber on the bottom level will tell him the answer. I've never made it there. I suspect it's 42. But there's another puzzle as well. You'll see here that each of the chambers has a key number, and when you map all these out, then there's a mathematical progression. So if you don't actually reach that final chamber, you can make a guess at what it is, and it wouldn't surprise me if there was, because it's the early days of the Spectrum, write in and get some prize and some kudos. So yes, a backstory that is as pulpy as you would expect it to be, but that's fine. That really thoroughly engaged my 9-year-old brain. Yes, you can do the maths, but I tend not to. And you have what is to this day a ridiculously accurate, unforgiving, engaging, single screen arcade shooter. This is the pyramid, and I just keep coming back to it. Every game is roughly the same because you kind of know what's going on. You're always going to get the same creatures with the same movement patterns in each room, but once you start shooting and disrupting patterns and everything, all bets are off. Oh yeah, and of course, every time you touch them, they kill them. And just because we're going to get through this relatively quickly, you have one of the most fantastic death effects you have. Got to quickly run through, just because we just want to do an Hunter S. Thompson-esque massive explosion of fireworks and destruction and pain and death and loss of energy. So you can see it takes you. There it goes. Way. It takes you a bit of time to die, but when you do, it's spectacular. There we are. Quick warm up. That's the Pyramid. Fantasy Software from Bob Hamilton. Really, really enjoy that one. Still keep coming back to it. Worth a look nowadays. Nice, twitchy arcade game